as you manage to get here, the main factor is you really have no idea or what really about it is going on in this mountain whatsoever. You've heard stories, and you've also, with the help of Cerberus, discerned that this area, known as Hell's Mountain Pass, is a location where the individual known as Scarlet resides or resided. You're not sure if she's still here or not. When looking things up, you found a few things about a red mist, about an ancient being that used to or does live here, and a few other things of lore. Well, you managed to find the ancient thing that used to live here, and more or less it gave you advice. But whether or not you decided to take it, it decided to no longer help you. It was rude about it, so maybe not the nicest person or thing in the world. I forgot what servers called it. I think it was like Jim. I don't know. But fair enough. That translates into this world's common as a beholder. But when leaving the area, you decided to help out the spirits here. You managed to revive them. Well, not revive them, but let them go back into the course of, well, life itself. Thankfully enough, you managed to do it. With persistence, cunning, and I honestly did think you would just let them be. It's a good on you, I guess.
Perversion. Forget perversion.
I guess. One of them.
I meant actually pervert. Not the other kind of perversion. The pervert kind.
Yeah, what about me being a pervert? What do you need to do with this?
Anyways. As your team managed to find and at the very least locate the individuals now no longer there, your team also managed to find something in the mist. Now that it is more or less not been swayed away, but the words that was in your mind no longer clouding it. With that provisionary stance, something attacked your bird, Talon, and then immediately you sent out a provisionary team to go out and look and explore. They or them did not exactly take too kindly to that, and immediately you were, well, not immediately attacked, rather when one of your hounds, looking at one of you particularly, because only one of you has a hound, got too close, it attacked. And with it became an onslaught of fighting. After seeing the individual being hurt, you decided to might as well risk it and threw a volley of shots towards one of their directions. Afterwards, it just became fighting. There was no reason why they didn't decide to fight you anymore. I gave multiple reasons why they weren't. Well, not reasons, but I gave general guidelines of them just watching you. But after throwing the first punch, theoretically, to them, there was no really going back. You managed to eventually discern that these things are... I forgot who. I think it was Kaithal. Discern that these things are known as mind flares. And in Kaithal's own language, you know them as illithids. And that is where I believe we left off. That Metal Hound currently down. Kaithal hurt. Tolwyn heavily injured. Cerberus, I think you failed your last save last time. That is quite literally where we ended. With Talon back at the front. And there's really no not fighting at this point. Unless you can decide to do something else. It's entirely up to you how you want to play this game. Talon, you're up first.
Hell no. They killed my fucking sweet Owlie. And my friend's poor little sweet innocent little puppet. So they need to die. So I will have those two guys there make a dexterity saving throw for my last two meteors.
All right. I honestly lost track of how many meteors you had left. As
I had,
yeah.
I had 2 left.
You probably have
I'm
2.
just sick with these
I remember
two.
2 attacks. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the 3rd and last one.
All right.
And they take 17.5 DC 14 testing. Those 2 guys there. One of them looks like, is he down or something?
One of them was taken down, and one of them was, I think, got hit prone. Yep, hit prone.
So does he fail that, or does he have disadvantage on that?
I think he just has disadvantage on it, unless someone can correct me on that.
Well, actually, the rules is written if you're prone. I don't think you have disadvantage on dex save. Actually, I don't think.
I don't
It
think
feels
you
like
do.
you should.
All right, you should.
Because I think the idea is you can still just kind of roll out of the way.
Oh yeah,
it's-
that tracks.
It's prone.
Opening
It
up.
just gives you disadvantage on attack rolls, and attack rolls against you have advantage if they're within 5 feet. Otherwise, it has disadvantage, and you can only crawl or stand up.
All right, that's fair.
No, it's a straight roll.
That's 1. That's 2.
Nice. So they each take 17 fire damage.
Yeah. With the 5 and the 4, there's no way they're not going to take that damage. Immediately, a massive boom just circulates the area. Thankfully enough, Kaitho's not close enough to take any damage.
Yeah, it's pretty small. 25 days. Alright, well. And then for my action, I will. Let's see. Don't want to be making an intelligence save, though. Which is probably pretty good close. Those guys. Yeah. Are they, how are they looking? Can I see them both? I mean, I guess I can see all of them.
You can see the silhouettes, but Kaitho's technically the only one that can see them, or at least see one of them descriptively. Kaithal, you can tell that the one closest to you is not heavily hurt. They are injured. They definitely took that with stride. But they're not dying just yet. The last one, or at least the one that's prone currently, they have taken significant damage before that meteor swarm attack. They are very hurt and considered bloodied.
Do I know? Like,
If Talon asks that, I will yell back. If 6 seconds
Yeah, I'm
allows,
asking.
I guess, whatever.
what are you telling me?
Which one looks the most damaged? If you yell up, which one's the most damaged?
Which one's the most hurt? Left or right?
And I yelled right. Well, I guess you said right, Ian?
Yeah,
You
he
said
did
the
say
one
left
that
and right.
was-
I said
I mean,
left.
you said the one. Oh, left. Okay, so
Yeah.
I yell out the left one.
Okay, I tell my birdie to, I go,
Your bird's
whistle
dead.
to it.
Oh, wait. I think you revived
I
it.
brought it back. Yeah, I brought it back.
Yeah.
We waited 10 minutes. We waited, and I was like, I think I'm going to take a little 10-minute break. Anyway, so I tell my birdie and whistle to speak, unnecessarily because I understand what I say, to help Kaifal. And then the one that he told me is less hurt needs to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Why?
Because of D's.
Hold person.
You just stop right there,
It
girlfriend.
doesn't work.
Does it?
I'll ask. I think we've gone through this before, but I'll ask it again.
Okay.
Is an
He's a
aberration
humanoid,
considered a humanoid?
He's a. I don't know.
Because
He's a
there's
humanoid.
aberration,
humanoid is like,
monstrosity, beast.
It might not work. Yeah.
If you find out that it says it does, I will roll. I just don't know.
Technically, I do not think an aberration is in the humanoid category. I don't think so. I don't have a thing right here with me, but I do not think so.
I don't know. He's got spell resistance. That's bad.
You know what? I
Where's
prefer you guys to succeed on this. For this battle, we'll figure it out later. But for this battle,
Okay.
they're considered humanoid. You said wisdom, right?
Yes, please.
All right. No bonus to this, so it's just straight up wisdom. I said 12.
Well, he's frozen in place.
Yeah.
As I say, stop right there, girlfriend. I'm gonna heat you. I'm gonna heat up some oil and make you into fucking calamari. I start yelling like obscenities and shit, and then I tell everyone to murder the other guy first, I guess, or I don't know, do whatever you want. But that guy's not moving. Pummel him if you can. I'll stay back here. But yeah, that's my turn.
You tell the team that the closest one is the one that's more of a viable option due to incapacitation of movement. Tolwyn. Currently, you are a giant direwolf, I believe. Currently,
Yes.
I'm gonna be straight up. I don't think Kythal can get around you. I think small-sized creatures can. If I'm right. If I'm wrong, let me know.
I think you're allowed to move through ally spaces.
Like, I know you're
If
allowed to
I
move
was
through
to-
allied spaces, but
Yeah.
I don't know if you have enough room to quite literally physically move through. I'm gonna say
Possibly.
If I was
You might have
to
to.
hear him coming and press against a wall, do you think that he might make it through? Or
you're gonna have to roll acrobatics to go through without reducing speed. And if you don't succeed, you just reduce your speed by tough terrain.
Yeah, because you could crawl underneath me if you had to, or climb over top of me. So,
That makes
but
sense.
without an acrobatics check, that could count as difficult terrain for sure.
acrobatics for me or for him? Because is he going past
For
me?
you, if you decide to move through Tolwyn, or vice versa,
Okay.
Cerberus and Talon. But Tolwyn, it is your turn.
So I will use my action to call lightning down right here.
All right.
That the two enemies that I can see there will have to make the saving throw, and I will pop it in there for you. So it's a DC 16 Dex save, and they'll take 22 damage on a fail and half that on a success.
All right. Da-da-da. Okay,
And
their
if one
dex.
of them is- Yeah. Is one of them paralyzed, you said?
One of them's paralyzed, so they automatically fail. But the other one doesn't have that great of a dex anyway, so that's a +1 to their dex. That is an 8.
That is a fail, so they're each going to take 22 damage.
Pleasure to be of service. Now zap him.
All right, and they both fail, so 22, 22. You can tell that the closest, or at least the one on the ground, is heavily hurt. They're not quite dead yet, but they can likely not take another attack like that. And the one that's frozen, you can't really tell or discern because you are too far away, not within 10 feet. Too far away, but you can tell that... No, you can't tell. You just see it get hit, but you see that it emits no sound, so it is clearly paralyzed. Or constricted.
Can I tell by their smell if they're the same type of creature?
Yes. You can tell that it has a not a briny smell to it, but a chemical smell to it, as if a preservative.
Gross.
Yeah.
Okay. And I believe that is all I'm going to do.
All right. The one that's on the ground gets back up again. That's half of its speed.
And Talon's like laughing like maniacally at this point, like just like starting to sound like a crazy person. Most of the time he's having fun in battle, but it's starting to seem.
It's starting to
more
hit.
much.
Yeah. All right. 1d6. All right. It doesn't get its charge back. This thing immediately goes towards Kythal. Is able to get there even with reduced speed. Its true form then emerges. It's obviously another one of those mind illithid things that you've heard about.
I can't believe we're
Yes.
doing so well against them though. Like we're doing pretty well.
we might not be in a second. So
I mean, there's only one left.
I'm face to face with a mind sucking squid. So
You should be fine then. There's nothing there.
Service, you trying to say something?
Oh, you look so
Yeah.
great.
I was gonna say my character finally got some nickname for these guys. So inside, internally, he's going to yell in his mind, "Ugh, it's those druggers! How disgusting!"
They deal with more than just drugs, but sure.
Wait, we're just killing a bunch of drug addicts?
That's what my
I
character
feel-
thinks.
Taylor immediately starts laughing because he's pretty much a drug addict himself. He's like, maybe we should have helped these people.
Anyways. The closest mind flare towards just jettisons straight towards you. Immediately without their mind blast attack, whatever this thing does, it's going to use its tendrils to just strike at you.
Right.
+7.
I have a question for Kaithal.
Yes.
What did you use your telekinesis on?
I lifted one of the dudes up and then dropped him straight down, like 30 feet. So I think it was the one that was prone, if I remember right.
You just
But
drop.
yeah, I brought him up 30 feet and just dropped him.
Hey, DM, I actually have a question about that. And as another DM to the DM also in the game, I have a question about the telekinesis spell. If you're like, you can only move at 30 feet, it says, but if you like fling someone from the ground, like up like 30 feet, do they just stop there? Or like, does the momentum keep going? Like, and how far?
I suppose the telekinetic process just means that you yourself are using your mind to lift it. So if you're continuously making that process, it only lasts about 6 seconds. Well, in combat, it
Still
only
lasts
lasts
for a
6
minute.
seconds. Yeah, I know. So in that 6 seconds, you can get it up to 30 feet.
So it's like you're just moving. You're not really. Like,
If it
swinging
continues, like if you continue your turns, you can continue to move it. But after a minute, it obviously dissipates. It doesn't just continuously move up. You're actively moving it up. The way I think about it.
If you could like, if you were like got a momentum or just like kind of levitated to that spot, kind of thing. But that makes sense.
If you're also just trying
I
to
should have.
chuck them
kept
in
it
the
on.
air, that is also something we can like definitely do. But it's again the momentum, speed, and the process of your mind. You're causing him to lift up, but in a faster movement, which I honestly think it would be some type of an intelligence check to try to fling him with your mind. A
That make,
mind athletics check.
that sounds actually really cool. Actually, just doing that sounds cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that sounds fun.
But anyways, this 20 hit.
20 does hit.
Unfortunate. All right, that's 2d10 plus 4. For some reason, it's psychic damage, even though it's a tentacle that hits you.
Yeah, it's all right. Like Jalen said, I didn't have much up there.
I mean, it's all right with you,
Actually, I
but
do. I'm an artificer.
it just makes no sense to me.
But
The smartest person.
It deals 15 points of psychic damage on you, and
okay.
you are a medium-sized creature. So go ahead and roll a DC. That's not a DC. Go ahead and roll a. Wait a second. It triggers. What? That's dumb. I don't like this.
Okay.
It's dumb for you. I'm sorry. Kaithal,
Sorry,
as
hey.
this thing wraps around
It is
you
what it
and
is.
hits you with its tendrils, you are immediately grappled. DC to
Okay.
escape would be an intelligence saving throw on your turn. I'm going to say the start of your turn. DC to beat is
Okay.
15.
Okay.
I don't like that. Succeeding on a
That's okay.
grapple.
Hey, it is what it is.
Eating it with his face.
Okay.
He's a
Yeah,
hungry squid.
I'm winning this fight. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you're gonna.
The creature that's stunned, I believe, can make the save at the end of its turn. I could be wrong. So,
I believe I read that.
Taylor, am I correct on this? Sorry, am I wrong? Hold
are you asking
person.
about the grapple?
Is it
Hold person is at the end of their turn. Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah.
end of the turn? Yeah.
So they do nothing. Wisdom save +3. That's a 14.
That passes. It's a.
All right. It's no longer restrained, but it ate its turn. Kythel.
I don't know. It's not worth it.
Now, you can't
Okay.
move, but you can still attack. That's easily enough done. If you want to
Now let me
escape,
ask
you can
this.
go ahead and roll your intelligence saving throw.
Well, let me ask you this. Can I face step teleport out?
I'll just read what it says. If the target is medium or smaller, it is grappled. Escape DC 15 and must succeed on a DC 15 intelligence saving throw or be stunned until this grapple ends.
But can he still see though?
I think so, yeah.
If he can see a spot, he can teleport to any spot. Doesn't matter if he's grappled. There's
But-
two sides exist.
But does that would require the intelligence to break out of that? It wouldn't, or I don't know. I'm gonna allow.
I'm
the
going to say
DM
I think you'll be fine
But
if
I'll
you
take
decide to
this
do that.
intelligence save. Yeah, I've got
yeah,
a
you don't-
+6
because
to
you're
it,
not-
so let's try.
You're not trying to bust out of it. You're just casting a spell.
No,
Yeah,
he's
well,
stunned.
well.
He's stunned though.
Oh, he got stunned. I thought it was just grappled.
No.
You're
Yeah.
grappled, but if you don't succeed the save, you are stunned and are also still grappled.
Oh, okay, so
And you
he
said it-
saved and got stunned. Got it.
Yeah, I failed. I failed.
This is
the
why I
save,
don't
so-
like this attack. I didn't notice it until just now.
I didn't
So
know
he-
that either.
Well,
He
that
failed the
sucks.
save, so he can no longer take actions or reactions. And
Nope.
he can't move, can speak only falteringly, automatically fails strength and dexterity saving throws, and attack rolls against him have advantage.
I'm going to say someone else can pry him away from this creature. Or it doesn't
just
say
kill
you're
it.
allowed to, but I'm going to say you're allowed to. On your next turn, you can make another save to just try to get out of this.
Okay.
Because it's dumb. It doesn't
Fair
tell
is
me you
fair.
can make another save.
That's all right. Dice decide, and that's how it goes. It is a grand adventure.
I'm sorry, Kaito. One of
Okay,
them's
it
already
is what it
dead.
is.
The Cerberus.
Question to the DM.
Yes.
I know what these druggers like to do is they suck on their preferred drug. But question
You would know what they would do, but you can't see what they are. Only Kaito can see what they are.
I was
And
pretty
apparently
certain.
Talon, because of his bird.
I was pretty certain I was told when I was out there that they were. But anyway.
Oh yeah, they did shout. Kaito did shout out.
Yeah, I yelled back a lithid.
Then yes, Cerberus, you know. You know that these things are known as mind flares. People of the Feywild would know them as illithids, which is fine. And Cerberus, you would
Yeah, I
know,
don't know them as
one
that.
or the other based off of your own circumstances. You know these things like to eat brains. They bring along hounds that kind of look like brains. Don't touch them. Go near them. They are very
Yeah.
not nice. They basically collect people to use as slaves. They basically try to make... No, you don't really know how they make more of themselves. That one is a trade secret. But you also know that they trade in a lot of things, spices and all that stuff.
Druggers.
Druggers.
Got it.
And slavers.
So, druggers then. Anyways, I know I got hit with a some kind of perilous psychic attack. When do I get to make my saving throw?
At the end of your turn, but last time we made it at the start of your turn because I did not want to... If you had a chance to do something, you would do something. But you've already used it. So, much like stunned, at the end of your turn, you must make your save once more.
And that is.
Intelligence save. All right, not bad. Immediately as you begin to move about, after feeling that strange sensation within your mind, your synapses snap back, and you feel yourself able to move again, but not fast enough to take your turn.
You fucking druggers, I yell out loud. I'm going to flay you in half.
You shout out, and they can definitely hear that. They're not that far away. It's just the whole fog thing's the problem. But they have yet to say anything, which is the most concerning part. Talon.
My turn.
Talon, if you're saying something, I'm muted.
Other than like I was just basically like saying I'm going to. we didn't miss anything.
Actually, before you go, Talon, your bird was helping, which basically gave Kaithal the help action. Does the help action work with saves?
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately. Check it.
Hey, good try though. That was a good. All right, I'm going back on mute.
I'm sorry. Okay. Continue.
My Everybody seems to be Severus is hurt. Severus is hurt pretty bad. Right?
You're
So-
all heavily injured. Tolwyn is injured, but he's a giant wolf, so there are variants to that injury.
Jalen sees them approach and laughing maniacally, like starts dancing. He like leaps, like jumps off Tolwyn's like back, like onto the wall, flips up and like leaps off the ceiling, like somersaults, like and like lands like right. Actually, he's gonna land in the same spot as Kaithal for a minute and like jump like right in front of Kaithal and like almost like scare him and be like, or actually I'll just say I jump behind him and be like, Kaithal, duck! And as Kaithal bends over, no pun intended, I'm gonna try and blast both these guys with a lightning bolt.
I'm going to say thematically that works. Go ahead and roll me an acrobatics check to get around Tolwyn without losing speed.
I'm proficient at this. Yes. I'm so good. I feel bad. If I'm not proficient, I'm still can't see this. Actually, wait a minute. I should be proficient. I feel bad.
Yeah, you easily get there just fine. You ask Kaithal, duck! And then remember, oh right, you're paralyzed.
Oh,
As
he's
you
paralyzed?
go-
I just push him over then. I just push him over.
I was gonna ask about that.
That's what I do. Like, I forgot he's paralyzed. I'm just gonna like push him out of the way, like, Kaithal, get back! And like I'm like trying to help him, like push him back. He just like falls over. I'm like, oops. Just like knocks over.
What is the
But, like,
number to
you know.
beat?
Yeah, 14.
All right. As you call lightning on these individuals straight in the area. DC to beat 14, dexterity +1.
What are you doing?
Double sixes. Those are sevens.
So they both take 28 damage, and then I will.
As the
the one in
electricity
front of me-
bursts in the area, you can see that the one in front of you can now see what they are. These strange, honestly hard to tell. The best way you can describe them is
Mario Factors.
octopedal people.
Oh,
The one in front of
also on
Kaithal
D12.
is just not blown away to smithereens, but definitely destroyed in the sense of half his face is now missing. So I'm going to say, Kaithal, you're admitted free on your next turn. But the
I
one
rolled higher
further
with
behind him
44.
is still alive,
Yay!
just bloodied now.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm still. I like as I blast his friend to bits. I lash out with my sword Rurikon, and I'm like, I'm not done with you. And I yell like, I'm ready for some Calamari. And I try and stab him with my free action there. Ooh, yes. I do
Yeah.
stab him.
26 does hit.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
take out your blade and sink it in, carving your intent into this creature. As you do so, once again, they don't speak, they don't talk, which is weird. Like, so far, they've just been reacting to you guys attacking. You still see the fourth person that you never actually attacked, just still in the background, just watching you guys. So when you carve into this man, thing, woman, whatever they are, shouting at them does not relay a reaction, which is kind of disappointing, honestly.
I still keep shouting.
But this
Stab.
thing is injured and very hurt.
Yeah, I rolled. Not that it mattered. I mean, I rolled 25 or 24. I rolled 44 at first, or 84. I was like, wait a minute, whoops, the wrong one. But it doesn't matter. I rolled pretty much the same with 86. So there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my turn, indeed.
All right. Tolwyn.
I'm going to call lightning right here, so it hits the Illithid and not Talon.
All right. What's the radius?
It's within 5 feet, so it would hit Duroc.
The rock's
so
already down.
this-
Unfortunately.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah,
Yeah,
because I know
that's
he's
perfectly
mechanical, not alive, so I figured it
Yeah.
wouldn't. He's already down. I'm not gonna damage him too
Doesn't
much.
bother him at all.
He's turned off. He needs a little bit
Yeah.
repaired to turn him back on. Dex save. Why do you keep making them do dexes? It's only a +1. That's a 3.
Nice. So 23 lightning damage, and I will stay where I am.
The massive skittering of electricity, it bursts into the area. Maybe it's a little too close for comfort for many of you. But this thing is heavily injured and cannot take another attack like that. I always
Cool.
forget how long your cold lightning stays up.
Oh yeah, it's like super long time. All right, I'm done.
All right. Unfortunately, it is now its turn, and these things hit hard. Oh, I'm so dumb. Well, I suppose it works out for you guys because I forgot to do the mind blast thing last turn. Well, 60-foot
I thought you
cone.
were using that. You
I
haven't been using that at all? I thought you were hitting.
I use it on with this one, and I used it with this one. The ones that are dead now. I don't like to use more than one a round, but this one had to recharge and couldn't do it, and this one died before it could do it again. And I just forgot to do it with this guy. Oh well.
He's in a
60.
prime position to do it now.
All right, I'm pretty sure a 60-foot cone embeds all of you into it.
No way. I'm ducking. Goes right over me.
All right, everyone, including your bird, go ahead and roll for me an intelligence saving throw.
I get +3 to mine.
You do, and I believe Tolwyn gets, what is it, a D4 or +4?
My bird failed miserably.
With your aura Cerberus.
And I did okay.
Actually, I don't think it matters with these numbers.
Yeah, my bird's gonna be.
Your bird's probably dead.
Although he was kind of flying around, like maybe he wasn't right there, but that's alright. I'll just say every
I'm
time
gonna
he's-
say
he's
it's
flying-
there.
I'm gonna say they said he's flying 40 feet up and back every time. So I thought, like, he's gonna get
In its current position, it's in the cave.
She's dead. Anyway, what happened to the rest of us?
Okay. Let's see here. Tolwyn 23 plus bonus of Cerberus. He's fine. Cerberus, you're fine. Talon's bird. It's hard. Yeah, everyone except for the bird saved. So you're gonna take half of 48 plus 4 psychic damage.
We take half of that result.
Yes. So half of that is rounded up 14. And no one is stunned. It just hurt a lot. Let's hope nothing. Yeah, nothing else, thankfully. Being hurt heavily, but not down. You're grateful for that, at the very least. And I am also grateful that this thing doesn't have multi-attack. Kaito, being released by the creature thanks to your companion, you are now actively free to do what you will.
I lose concentration on Call Lightning, by the way.
Oh, did you not save? Nope, that's a 6.
Yep.
Okay. So I am going to. I am very mad. So this thing, I push it to the side as much as I can, run through it to this thing, and I will. If I can get to my spells thing, I am going to attack it with my chakram in my hand, not throwing it, just in my hand.
All right.
So there is that, but at the same time, I am doing that. Oh, hold on. Never mind. It didn't work yet. I'm gonna do it. What is it? Oh, right there. Oh, it didn't say what the spell's description does. So there we go. Okay. So it's an extra 2d6 to, if I even hit it with a 16.
A 16 does hit.
Okay, so then an extra 2d6. So what is that? Boom, boom. Extra 4 damage. 18, 21.
All right, Kaithal, how do you
Wait,
want to
you
bring
need-
this thing down?
I want to cut through all of its little sucker tentacles.
Hmm.
And as I do that, go through its throat at the same time. And as it drops, I'm going to kick all those little tentacles towards Talon and say, there's your dinner.
Slashing through this thing again and again until all of its tendrils are down. Finishing it off
Basically,
with...
I'm pissed. I'm really mad, so sorry. Got to throw that out there.
Yeah.
I was brain sucked, and I'm not happy about it.
Finishing it off with burning your chakram halfway into its guttural throat, showing your anger, then finalizing it with its head being chopped off. Kicking the calamari towards your companion for a nice dinner snack. So, theoretically, combat is over. There's still the fourth guy that's there, but he has yet to attack. He's still just staring at you guys, or observing you guys. Like, you guys know what they are, so I'm not gonna make them silhouette tokens, but they are here. They're like, right there. Oops.
Oh.
Right there.
It's just one left.
One left that you can see currently. Remember beforehand that there were more than 4 before, and then was 4 after you got close enough, and then now there's only 1 visible to you.
Well, I definitely can't tell where anything is right now. But Kaithal,
You can see the silhouette, but you can
Yeah.
assume it's the same type of creature. But I'll go around and see if we're still in combat or not. Cerberus.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna yell at Kaithal and tell him to repair his hound as fast as he can and get it out there and find if there's any more guys coming. My bird's dead, or else I do stuff.
Okay. You shout out to Kaithal to repair your hound. Cerberus.
Many of us are rather injured, so I'm going to run up as quickly as I can so I can heal me and Kaithal.
Okay. You run over through Tolwyn. Go ahead and roll for me an acrobatics check to not lose speed. Yeah, you're fine.
I reach over to Kaithal while I'm standing on top of this bunny,
Oops.
going squish, 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 and
There we go.
I will reach out and give him 10 health from lay on hands.
All right. Kaithal, you feel rejuvenated. It's not your max, but it's better than what you have now.
I put my hand on his shoulder. Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry I didn't do you all the way. I wanted to conserve just in case for an
No, hold what you have. I will be okay at this. Thank you. We may need your healing more. There's another one out there. Do we even attempt, or do we retreat into the cave?
The door is broken, by the way. You objectively broke
Right.
it.
I was thinking
But we
of,
do. Go ahead.
I was thinking of the cave. We could try the mending spell and put in the bricks back into the door. And try to weather a night, because we do need a safe-ish place to spend a long rest.
I should clarify. You molded earth around the doors to unlatch them. You can mold earth back and put in the metal to brace it again. That's not really the issue. The issue is currently they're not operational. Mending wouldn't do it.
after we remove the mold earth, can't we just mend it?
No, I mean, if you put the door back and mold earth around it again, it'll be fine. Mending wouldn't actually actively do anything.
Yeah, we didn't break this door. We just removed the door frame.
But again, you can definitely do that because these things haven't been attacking you. They've just been reacting to your actions. So whatever you feel is best for you guys is entirely up to you.
Let's loot their bodies real quick and grab anything of note real fast if we can. And then retreat back into the cave.
Again, I'm going to go around to see if anyone's going to actually attack. I'm going to give you your choices. Service, you took your healing to Kythal. Is there anything else?
I'm going to take my last bit of movement to take a step back so that everyone will be in the range of my aura, and that's really all I can do. It takes an action to heal.
All right. Talon.
Well, the other guy's not moving at all. He's just sat there, hasn't moved at all. Like I said the whole time.
All right. I'm assuming that means you're holding your action.
Well, no. I'm just saying he hasn't moved or done anything, right? He just never done anything. No sounds are coming from there.
No, none of them have ever emitted sounds. Like some of them of pain, until you guys froze them in place, then no longer of pain. But no omitted vocal sounds of voice.
Okay. I'm going to, I guess, check the bodies around me and see if there's anything of note before trying to, if I can, run back into the cave. But if I don't have enough time, I'll just check the bodies real quick.
All right, you do a quick scan. Go ahead and roll for me a perception check. You do find a magic wand on them. You also find a staff or stave, whatever you want to call them. A stick that you can hit people with. You find their clothing. More or less, they're wearing a gown that is relatively studded leather armor. Beyond that, though, nothing really else of note. They do carry, both of them do carry a brown sack, but you don't have time to open it. You can open it, that's perfectly fine. It just will eat your bonus action.
I'll open it. I'm looking through their shit. I don't know.
Okay. You open it, and inside it feels weird. Well, it looks strange as well. And as you open it, you can tell that there are it's a weird purple goo-like thing with chunks of flesh inside. As you peer at it closer, it feels as if the chunks are throbbing or moving.
I shut it immediately.
You shut it immediately.
There's something in there. And I I don't know, take it with me as I go in there.
Do you take both sacks or just the one you opened?
Both.
Okay, that's easily enough done.
I'm taking everything.
You take the wand, the staff, wand on one, staff on the other. Grab the bags and go back.
To fry.
Grab the tentacles to grow and fry. One of them's too far away to grab their stuff if they had stuff. At least for your turn. Yeah.
I'm satisfied.
And Towan.
I'm just gonna run out to here-ish. Just gonna jump over everybody. And I want to see if I can smell if there are any others out there beyond this one that's watching us.
Yeah, and you've already had a good amount of their scent already. I'm going to say because of your movement speed already, even if you failed your acrobatics check to not step on anyone, you wouldn't lose enough speed to not get there, so you're fine.
Yeah, I have 50 feet of speed on the wolf.
Yeah, you'll be fine. As you go over to basically put yourself in a position that could defend your teammates that are very, very hurt, you begin to sniff the air for more of that chemical scent, and unfortunately, you do feel and smell more. With your current instincts of a hound, you feel a sensation of danger all around you, but that was already eminent and prominent, even if you're in humanoid form. But the smell itself gives you a more distinct distinct numbers, really. The one you see, and then further behind them, roughly at maybe 15 feet back, 30 feet back, 20 feet forwards to the left, 20 feet forwards to the right, there are roughly 5 more in the mist that with your senses you can smell. There might be more, but these are the only 5 you currently smell, and none of them are actively moving towards you. They're just standing there.
Yeah. All right. Well, in that case, I'm gonna just kind of like growl, like just so that the rest of the team knows that there's more danger, and I'm gonna start moving backwards, dragging Duroc back into the tunnels.
All right, you use your main bulk form to push them back as you move back yourself. That guy is dead, and Kaital. Oops.
I am going to. I don't know how far he can drag the rock in, but I'm going to sit right about here, and as soon as he gets to this area, I'm going to cast Mending on Duroc, which will take a minute to do, but then he will be. He is. Hold on. I think he comes back with all of his stuff, as long as I remember it, right?
You have to spend an action to reboot your hound, and then after a minute,
that's right.
it comes
That's
back.
That's right.
Yeah.
So yes, spending out instead of casting Mending. I apologize. I'm going to go ahead and reboot him, as you said. I guess Mending technically is rebooting him.
Yeah,
Mending
heals him.
Mending would heal him if he's not all the way down. Rebooting
Right.
him is the thing you're trying to do. If you had time,
Okay.
or at least if you weren't in a dangerous situation, and if you've already used the whole reboot thing, you could use Mending to compensate for that.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I am rebooting.
You reboot him after Tolwyn gets him close enough. Once close enough, the magic of enlargement reduces him down to normal size. And you, well, effectively, that is combat unless someone does something else.
No.
Nope.
I am not.
Okay.
I'm going to try to drag everyone through the door and tell everyone we're closing the door.
Not without me, laddie.
That's not what I'm.
Yeah.
I think. I take it you're just being sarcastic or just being annoying.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Okay.
A little bit of both.
Yes and yes.
The
Very
team
well then. I won't say anything.
winds it back into place. Tolwyn, you
I
go
will-
in. Again, your speed, even if you failed, you could probably still get in there at what form. So you go in, you cast Mold Earth. I think Talon casted Mold Earth a while ago. Or at least you had it prepped.
Right now.
Causing the door to be rehinged and locked in place once more. Right now, it still doesn't have that beam of metal in it, so it's still freely able to open and close.
This whole area, like I'm filling with dirt. Like I'm piling like dirt 10 feet like along it. Like I'm digging it.
Yeah,
Like
I
I'm
guess
digging
that would
dirt
also
from
work
my
as
finger.
a stop.
Yeah.
Talon,
Yeah,
you
well,
begin
10
to
feet
mold Earth,
from the dirt.
moving it to isolate the area into a more compact form. If these things were ready or going to attack, they would have to spend a while digging.
Can't we just put the cube back that we got?
You could have, but Talon decided to use dirt, which is fair. It would take some time. In fact.
Just take me a minute or two to take care of business. And then I send my invisible servant over to start frying us up some calamari.
All right. Surviving that fight, or at the very least the ordeal, you take the specimens of the small little tendrils to be cooked. You put 1, 2, 3, 4 for your team, leaving 2 behind because there were 6 of them. Actually, leaving 4 behind because octopus ate tendrils. That makes sense. And do you guys try to take a short rest, long rest, or you just wait to see what happens?
We would have to take some shifts, but I assume a long rest. Also,
Long
we need
rest
to
would be
talk,
good.
also, we need to talk with our group too. Also, Kaithal, you wanted a reminder after a long rest. You wanted to make that bag of holding, so there's your chance.
Yes, I will be making that overnight. I also will be making something else overnight, but we'll see that in the morning.
All right. While you begin to take shifts, I'm gonna already straight up tell you, you can take a long rest. So while you're waiting to see what happens hour after hour, shift after shift, eventually day or night breaks. It's honestly hard to tell what time of day it is here. But eventually your long rest does persist. Kaithal, you're able to make your two things, whatever they may be, one of them bag of holding. The other one, keep it a surprise if you want. But you are able to get your spells back, re-heal. And it does seem that no one decided to dig for you guys.
Okay.
So,
Severus, if I may have a word with you, my friend.
go ahead.
When we were down in the darkness with that crazy, weird Steve monster, so I got to thinking, and the weak part of that is that you cannot see without light. And if we are in a situation where light cannot be had, Talon and myself can see, Tolwyn can change into something, but you are at a loss, my friend, and I do not want that. And I take my goggles off of my head, and I hand them to you and say, now with these, you will see as good as Talon and myself. And now, Severus, you own a pair of goggles of night, which I could make with my replicator. So that's one of my artificer infusions is on him. I have 3 that I can do. One is the bag of holding, one is that, and then my other one's still my defense, my extra point of defense or whatever it is. So there you go. Now, Severus, you can see in the dark.
Thank you very much, Kaithal. This will be very helpful.
I hope so. After these last fights, we're definitely going to need all the advantages we can get.
By the way, if you want to, Kaithal, there is all that coin up there and the rods in that one barrel or box. If you want to take it all, go ahead.
Oh, I will take as much as, well, this bag of holding can hold.
I think a bag of holding can
do.
carry 500 pounds? Correct me if I'm wrong.
It depends, and also depends on the DM.
I'm going to say
it carries 500
it's the
pounds.
smallest bag of holding.
There's only one bag of holding. They carry 500 pounds. There's no large bag of holding unless you make like a special bag.
There are special bags like a bag of holding and stuff like that.
Technically, all it says is that I can replicate a bag of holding. It doesn't specify what size or anything like that.
All right.
Yeah. Roughly 2 feet in diameter at the mouth and 4 feet deep. The bag can hold up to 500 pounds, not exceeding a volume of 64 cubic feet. The bag weighs 15 pounds regardless of its contents.
So
Okay.
take 500 pounds of the most valuable.
I think you
There
can
you
get
go.
most of it. Yeah, I think you can get most of it. Honestly, it equates to 65 cubic feet. So yeah, you get a good amount of it, leaving a good chunk of copper behind. All right.
Tell us later, DM, what it all is that he got.
Oh, it's just a lot of money. I can tell you now.
Just tell us later. I assume that you'll do so later.
I mean, I
anyways,
will, but or I can do it now.
You're all broke.
I suppose the next thing we want to do is check out what that stuff that Talon gotten, and everyone don't forget to heal up.
Yeah, I just throw it at Severus. Like, not like hurl it at him, but I just like, throw it in his direction.
I
Catch.
guess I'll try seeing if I can identify any of it just by my personal knowledge.
See if you can catch it.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. I'll make an acrobatics check.
I mean, if you... It's easy to beat 10. If you fail... Nah, you got it all. Talon just throws everything. You manage to grab everything without too much of an issue. So there is the wand, the staff, stave, whatever, and the 2 brown bags. I assume, Talon, you tell them what's inside or describe what's inside?
I kind of, that's again, yeah, it's some weird purple oozy shit.
Okay. Talon tells you there's some shit inside. Go ahead and roll Arcana for the staff and wand.
Well,
Well,
one of them I know, and the other one I don't.
All right. How should I play this?
Well, I come from a place that's very fucked up, so the stuff that looks fucked up to everybody else looks normal to me. Stuff that looks normal is fucked up to me.
That's not it. I'm just wondering, you got a natural 20 on one and a natural 1 on the other. I just... it's just me wanting to mess with you and going, should I tell you which one you absolutely know and the other one you absolutely, air quotes, know? No, I'm not going to be that mean. But, let's see. I'm just going to go with the first thing you wrote down. Wand and staff. So the first one would be wand and the second one will be staff. As you look at the staff itself, you can verify this thing looks gnarled. It looks craggy. It's kind of hard to tell if it's magical or not. Honestly, very hard to tell. You think of a few rods or a few staves that it might be. You think it might be the staff of charming based off of how it looks. Or it might be a staff of fire. Or it could just be a piece of wood. Very hard to tell, honestly. Either way, though, if it's one of the first 2 rods you thought of, it could be. Maybe. It could be a staff of python, possibly. Staff of woodlands.
I'll take a look at it.
Okay. Talon goes, he might not know what it is. You cast Identify on it.
Give me that. Twice.
As you cast your magical spell, you can tell that this thing is interesting. It's known as the Staff of Swarming Insects. Staff rare, requires attunement by a bard, cleric, druid, sorcerer, warlock, or wizard. The staff has 10 charges and regains 1d6 plus 4 expended charges daily at dawn. If you expend the last charge, roll a d20. On a 1, the swarm of insects consumes and destroys the staff, then disappears. While holding the staff, you can use an action to expend one of its charges to cast one of the following spells from it. Use your spell save DC to make the spell save DC. Giant Insect, 4 charges, or Insect Plague, 5 charges. There's also Insect Cloud. Once again, it is called Staff of Swarming Insects.
Yeah. I'll hold on to that unless somebody else threw it. I mean, I guess that I feel like that might be something for Tolman, though. I don't know. Tolman? Is that something you want?
Honestly, any one of you could technically use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have the Weapon of Life, but that can take any shape. But if nobody, that is very useful. So if nobody else really wants it, I will definitely take it. But Tolwyn would not ask for it. He would just if you ask that question, he would just say as long as nobody else feels like they could use it more, I'll take it.
Tolwyn isn't very grabby handsy. But Service, you can easily tell or discern what the next thing is. You've seen this before. You often have not used it in the market whenever you've needed to see, is this magical? No. Is this magical? No. This, yes. This is the wand is known as a wand of magic detection. Wand uncommon. This wand has 3 charges. While holding it, you expend 1 charge as an action to cast a detect magic spell from it. The wand regains 1d3 expended charges daily at dawn.
Oh, I know what this one is. This is a wand of magic detection. Some of the children like to go around waving it around because it keeps making little red and blue lights. They tend to just play some silly games at the market with it. I've seen it dozens of times.
So DM can Tolan he can concentrate on stuff as he's transformed, right?
What was that?
Tolan can concentrate on things while he's transformed, isn't that right, Tolan?
Yes.
I think you might need this staff, buddy, because you could summon a giant spider, or 3 giant spiders, or 1 giant scorpion, 10 giant centipedes, or 5 giant wasps, like either any of them really. And then and the insect plague is actually really nice in itself. They're both concentration, both last 10 minutes. So if we know we're going to be in a fight, you can just add an ally. Add a giant scorpion just to get in the way of stuff or whatever. Or, I don't know. We can have it do all sorts of stuff, because I already have too much stuff to concentrate on. So like this stuff would be nice, but I don't really have much to concentrate on, and all you have is what I think is the lightning, whatever the chain. I can't think of it. Call lightning. Sorry, who could be? Anyway, I just get up and I'm like sitting there thinking about it, and I'm throwing the staff in my hands. And I'm like, I can just get up and walk over to Tolwyn, and I stomp the staff in the ground. Then I pull it up and I spin it again, and I present it to him, and I'm like, this is a nice piece of equipment. And although I could find much use for it, I believe in your hands, our party will be much better served, if you wish it.
Oh, well, thank you. I hope to do much good for us with it.
I give it to you. You will. You always do good. It's a bad habit of yours. I've been trying to break that, but we'll see.
Cool. I will take it.
All right. Kython and Tylin, don't forget to heal yourselves. As you round about the day or night, again, hard to tell, you guys are able to fully rest, fully heal, and no one breaks down your door / sand wall. Eventually, time passes, and no one comes to bring you down. Do you try to venture back out, or do you try to maybe find another way out of this forsaken place?
Well, there was, as I said earlier, a conversation that needed to be had. But before
What do you want to talk about?
But before we go further with that, does anyone want to hold on to the wand of detection?
It's a wand of detection? It just does detect magic?
Yes. Does anyone wish to hold on to it? And if not, I'll just hold on to it.
I mean, yeah. Doesn't seem you should just hold on to it. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't try to find out stuff.
Alright then. I'll hold on for now. Tolwyn, I wanted to talk to you. Since this is your adventure, and we'll have to eventually, I believe, start heading out towards Talen's adventure. This is yours. We're here for your little outing. So far, we find ourselves in a bit of a pickle. It may be wise for us to try to retreat for now and gain more knowledge and power externally before we try to go through this here again internally, like we've been doing so far. But it's up to you. I will follow your lead for now.
Yeah, so I was wondering about that as well, what the rest of you thought. I don't trust the creature below us, even remotely. It is a aberrant stain on this realm. But given the resources and power of Scarlet, I think perhaps we can trust it that attempting to find her right now and confront her could be suicidal at best. I think that we've gained valuable information here. And I tend to agree that maybe there are other paths that we should be taking. We have other requirements on our time, and I don't want to urge you towards certain death before we are ready to face it. What's everyone else think?
Well, I definitely don't want to face certain death. So you want to come back later? Is that what you're saying? Try and come back by here later? Or do this later?
I mean, all we know right now is that Scarlet seems to be in this mountain range, and I mean, it could be far away from us in this. It's a range of mountains, and that a creature that some might consider a god respects her, and despite our success so far,
I don't think it's respect.
well, it seemed to indicate that she was more capable than we are.
That's fair.
That's definitely true. And Steves are weird.
Oh, so you have yet to
Especially
check the
that
brown bag, by the way. I just thought you would do that in the morning. But go on.
Well, I wanted the conversation first.
Yeah, I know.
We're gonna do. Well, I think we should probably leave
Yeah,
and come back later.
we should probably head out. I don't want to be dealing with all these things trying to blast and hurt us as well. Also, from what I remember from reading what these calamari things. Here, you want some? Anyway,
Does anyone eat them?
I'm eating it.
No, I did not.
Talon, it's chemically tasting, but it is good. It tastes like octopus, honestly. It has a weird texture to it. If you've eaten it before, Talon would think it's good. It has a weird taste to it, but other than that, it's fine.
Put some hot sauce on.
Something exotic.
And, yeah, a little hot sauce, a little zing, you know what I mean?
I hate octopus. I think it tastes horrible.
Well,
Something
then
exotic.
Don't eat it. You can be hungry, or make your own food then.
Talon takes
Lazy
yours.
bastard. God, you're so lazy. Make your own dinner. I'm over here always doing all the work anyway.
Unseen servant is currently dipping hot sauce
I
And I
did.
and feeding Talon.
It's like feeding my mouth. Yes, exactly. Yes.
I did make my own dinner actually.
Yes, but it looks awful. Anyway,
Anyways, how should we run? Should we run? Should we fight as we run?
I think we're alright.
All of you can roll a
We're-
history, like any one of you, or all of you, including Bird.
History?
Yeah.
Including Bird.
And the Rock, technically. He's been booted up. He's
Yeah.
fine now.
Okay, hey.
You're knowledge.
Where's the rocks? History. He doesn't have history, but he does. But where's it? -3 for the rock. All right.
That's still pretty good.
Nice. He still got better than me.
Apparently, I'm distracted by the shiny beetles.
I guess so. Yes.
You see some insects here and there, kind of distracted. You more or less, you and Talon's bird are just looking at some small beetles on the ground, just wandering about. Okay. And Rock and Talon, based off of the information you have, Service, you get some of this too, but not everything. But it's fine because everyone's probably going to share. Based on the information you have and discerning the context clues that you have felt a presence around you. Never close enough, but close enough that you could feel it. A strange sensation as if you're being watched. As you were moving, Talon did discern, or at least figure out, that there were some weird etchings on the ground as if something was slithering, but you couldn't discern what it was. Based off of what Talon is currently eating, it might fit the category of what those markings were. Or at least what they could be. And Talon and Rock, you can discern that these things were likely watching you while you were climbing up and up and up, but they were never actively going against you or never actively trying to attack you. Just keep an eye on you for one reason or another. You can't discern that, even with a 19. Sorry, Talon. But you can tell that if you decide to leave, they might not do anything against you unless you actively attack them or other.
Well, my question is, like, didn't they? You said before, like, they didn't attack us. I'm like, well, like, they did though. They killed.
They did attack
crushed-
the rock for some reason or another,
Yeah.
but you don't know why.
Maybe they're allergic to dogs. I don't know. They just like killed a bunch of
metal or constructs.
Maybe.
a bunch of immunocompromised elephants.
You just know that they actively attacked the rock, but they didn't attack any of you if you guys got close. They only acted when you blam blam shot magic.
That's true.
All right, so then we should go ahead and start running back down as much as we can. Everyone, get your spidey stuffies on.
You guys get your boots on. You're easily able to get them on. Set yourselves prepared. Camp is broken down easily enough.
I don't think I have those boots anymore. Did I? I don't.
We all have
we didn't all get them, did we?
You all got them
we all got
except
them.
for Duroc and your bird.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's just terrible. I get mine to my bird and other stuff.
They shrink down into like little talon booties.
The cutest boots I've ever seen in my life. Look, he likes to perch in strange places. Okay, I try and facilitate his life.
I will say, thanks to Tolwyn's always for some reason impeccable survival, you guys know the path back down.
Tolwyn, which way you go? Tolwyn's like sniffs a little bit that way.
Just like put like a round rock on the ground. Like I'm just gonna follow that.
Do you guys begin the process of molding earth to get out of here? Because you're not. You're technically
yeah.
stuck now.
Yeah. I'll mold. Actually, no. I'll be like, I can't do it, Severus. Dig us out. I can't do it, Severus. I'm too tired. Can you dig us out of here, please?
I give him a weird look,
Please.
and I give him a bunk on the head.
Dalen,
I'm trying to deceive you.
it doesn't work. He saw you use your magic.
Come on.
While you're very convincing,
I'm snibbling. I'm like, I don't feel good. My nose.
while you are very convincing, he knows you can do it. Everyone knows you can do it.
Hey, Tolwyn, give him a stab. That might help him wake up.
I throw the earth at him. Like I'm holding it and throw it at him, and like let's go.
You just begin to shove the dirt in the area, coating Cerberus and a few other people with dirt, but it's easily enough washed away. You're able to see outside because, once again, mold earth causes the door to buckle down, and immediately you don't see anyone, but you do sense that ominous presence once more. It is around you, but not close enough that you can see them, even the silhouettes now. You did have to actually go outside to see the silhouettes at one point or another.
I summoned my birdie back last night, by the way.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Which is why they're back next to you.
All right, everyone, keep in step and let's start running.
As you begin to keep in step and move forwards, you can tell that you're in the fog once more. But you can also tell that those people, creatures, whatever they are, definitely were concerning. And, well, as you're wandering about back downwards, unless you decide to go up, they are keeping pace around you, but not close enough that you could hit them with your sword. They're definitely far enough away that you wouldn't be actively noticing them. Once again, unless you're 10 feet next to them, you can't visibly see them. At 20 feet, you can make the silhouette, and beyond that, you can't really tell they're there. You just feel their presence. I don't know why Duroc's at 0.
I'm just enjoying my calamari jerky and just like looking around like, just jumping.
Hey, Tolwyn, do you think these joggers might
thank
be
you.
people of the village that you were
Wait a
looking
minute.
for?
Honestly, I have no idea, but they don't appear to be natural.
Maybe they ate the people of the village. Wait a minute, 1 second, I have a question. Severus, why do you keep calling them druggers? Do they like make drugs or they sell drugs? What is this? Did you buy drugs from them? That was a bad batch? What happened?
It's really disgusting what they do. They make some weird narcotic mind tripping stuff that some people back in my old home used, and they make it out of some very, very disgusting ways. As I gesture to the bag, this is part of that process.
What is that?
That's not necessarily true. The last part, at the very least.
I said part of the process.
Again.
This is one of the, I guess you can say, outcomes of how they make some of the drugs that they make. It's very disgusting.
I'm gonna stop being a little bit coy. The bag has nothing to do with that. You're telling the truth about the other stuff, but the bag itself is not connected to that.
I meant the stuff in the bag.
Same.
I wanted to identify it a bit more thoroughly once we get out of here.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty certain it's part of the drug things that they like to make.
Fair enough. As you begin to wander back out of the fog, Tolwyn, not going to make you roll. You've set up landmarks here and there. You spiked not a tree branch. You spiked I was about to say it again. Some wood into the ground to make sure you know the location of where you were beforehand. Making markers wherever you needed to pass. Small inline grooves sometimes whenever you didn't want to see anyone following you, just in case, because you kept getting that weird sensation and feeling. However, you also had those voices in your head. You all did. But with that voice gone, it's still creepy, but in a different way, because you know something is watching you. You eventually get down far enough where you're no longer in the fog. Well, no longer in a heavy fog, as well the road finally revealed itself once more. These guys would be gone by now.
Is this just me, or is it weird how quickly we've gotten down here?
It took a couple of hours.
I mean,
Nobody bothered us this time.
yeah, I think they just wanted us to leave. So it might have
I told
helped
you
a
to
little
shower,
bit.
Severus. I always
Plus,
tell you.
we've already been this way, so I've left myself marks. The way is easier to traverse now. At least for me.
Well,
Hi,
let's keep going.
Tythal, how's your face? How's everything going there?
My face is fantastic, my friend.
Okay, that's good. I didn't know how much they were able to eat.
No, I believe with Severus's quick thinking, he got the scarring down to a minimum.
Yeah.
I see. It's okay, I'm just checking out the late.
I
Unfortunately,
appreciate it, I think.
Kaithal doesn't get a badass scar. It's a shame. Truly.
I'll try harder next time.
I'll take my knife out. Like,
A few hours later, before you had to make camp again, you come across the path that you had taken beforehand. The wagon is still there, but the horse is now gone. As you find that little... I forget what it's called. It's not deep enough for a cave. I'm going to say... groove? Sure.
Left in the rock.
Yeah.
This is the place where we camp.
Yes, it's also the place where you left the wagon. The horse was let loose because it would have been there for a couple of days. Not being intended to.
We can just tell it back to Colin to come back.
Yeah. Eventually the horse does return. You take a long rest once more because it will take more time than what you have available to you, unless you decide to travel at night. Do you decide to travel at night?
No, there's no reason to.
No,
Okay.
I was say the same thing.
You decide not to make a bad call and not travel at night. For some reason, I can't find the wagon beforehand, so here is a JPEG.
I do decide to try to identify during this storm a what's in the bags.
Okay. Hmm. Are you just looking at it, or are you like taking some of the stuff out?
I'm using some of the spare supplies I got from my cooking set to try to take small bits of it and try to identify what I can.
Okay. As you're all around the fire, horse returning back, wagon back, everyone resting, keeping an eye out. Service, you use some of the cooking utensil tongs to take one of these things out. As you pull it out, you get that weird chemical smell of those things you fought beforehand once more. However, you then, whatever this meaty chunk thing is, you can tell that it's pulsating within the tongs of the kitchen utensils you're currently using.
I put it back. I think I know what it does.
You put it back. It was coated in a weird purple slime thing as you put it back inside.
I think these are baby Elia that have parasite things.
You wouldn't know that.
I'm pretty sure that knowledge is somewhat common.
No, it is not.
Oh, is there reproduction that a secret? I could have sworn that it was not.
From what I remember, I could be wrong, it is kept secret.
Okay, let's just do what the team wants. If that's what the team wants, the team wants.
Like, I could be wrong. If you can find something that tells me that tells it otherwise, because the main controller of illithids would also be kept secret, and the main controller of the thing is more or less where the breeding is done, or at least near it. So that type of process would be kept secret. Again, if I'm wrong though, just let me know. Oh, that's where your horse was.
Anyways, we will.
That being said, I'm not saying that this is it. I'm just telling you what I think.
I will rewind and reverse my previous thought process, and so we'll follow the team's decree. Okay, based upon what I saw before I put it back into its bag, can I identify any of its features?
You can tell that it's organic. It has a weird feeling to it. It definitely feels fleshy, as if part of something, but maybe removed from it. Go ahead and roll nature.
Can I do that as well?
You sure can.
Let's see if he gets a natural 20, like he got all the survival tokens.
Now, I think Towan only crits when it's survival.
This thing's gross and wrong.
This thing's gross and wrong. You can tell that, Tolan. Service, by the information that you currently have and by these things, weird pulsation things, you can tell that whatever that chemical smell is, whatever that ooze is, it's likely to preserve it or to feed it. It's kind of hard to tell. But you can definitely tell that this thing is part of something or in a prepubescent phase, as if not fully grown, or some type of incubating process.
Can
I
I feed it to the rock?
knew.
You can
I
Hey,
make
that's you.
I make a big fire, as strong of a fire that I can make, and I will put some salt into the bags and toss it into the fire.
All right, you do so to one of the bags and begins to like heavily squirm, but it eventually dies down. You still have one bag left. You can tell though that when you reopen it, it's weird. It's as if you rolled a 15. It's not high enough, but it's high enough I can give you a little bit more. As you reopen it to throw the salt and the fire back in there to basically kill off whatever these things are, you can tell that they're not fully actively there. It's a weird sensation you feel that's not naturally given. It's as if whatever these things are currently being used for not their true intention. As you have that thing smothered and burned away, and you basically having it smolder until it's gone. You have one brown bag remaining.
Are both bags giving me that sense, or just this one?
Technically, only ever opened one, but the same bags look the same.
I mean, are each of the contents of the bag giving me that they're only partially in existence?
You open it, you see inside, yes. You reclose it.
So the contents of the bag are not completely here? Or is it that these bags themselves create that?
Whatever these things are that's inside the bags, I'm going to say, when I mean bags, I mean the things inside. Whatever these things inside are, they are not being used, or at least whatever they're currently in right now is not what their intended purpose is. They're being retroactively used for a different purpose.
Do we have any idea like what they like really are though? Like are they just like young illithids or something? Like do we know?
Again, you wouldn't know that. You just honestly don't know. And again, I'm not saying that that's what they are. I'm telling you that you have no idea.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't have a fucking clue. Yeah, I don't let him. I get the other one from him. I'm not gonna let him burn it. I was like, we don't know what this is. I want someone. To
One bag's already gone. The second bag, you can say, hold up.
Yeah. He's getting reckless and burning stuff. So like, he might be able to eat this. Could be a delicacy. You never know.
Be
Can I cast
careful with
identify on it? Can I cast identify on it, or can we use detect magic on it?
Either one depends on what you want to do.
I'll identify it. Kelmore, use that one. See what you can see.
All right. As Cerberus begins to detect magic on the bag and whatever the context is, you register something known as
I should know its spells.
Yeah. You register its class and its abilities. You can detect that it is magical, but not the contents inside, rather the bag itself, which is ironic. The bag itself is meant to preserve, and it is known as a bag of preservation.
Is the other bag of the fire still there then?
Bag's kind of destroyed. You wave it over with a remaining magical power of your wand, and they were at one point the same. But they're not like a bag that infinitely puts space into it. It's more like whatever you put inside, it preserves whatever's inside. Be it organic, a watermelon, other. It's about the size of a cantaloupe, these bags.
So
It's a cooler bag.
I want to make I want to use mold earth. I want to make a bowl, like a giant bowl.
All right.
With a high rim, like a 5 foot big ass bowl with this thing, and I want to dump whatever this thing is into it. But I want the bowl to be separate from I'm building a pedestal. So the bowl is risen up on a pedestal or something. So it's not in the ground, so I can't go into the ground.
So you shift it upwards and then make a bowl on top of the pedestal?
Yeah, and then I tell everybody what I'm doing. I want to see if this thing is out of here, I guess. And if it does anything shifty, send it to the other realms, my friends. So I asked them all to ready their abilities just in case, any type of attack they wish to be prepared. Because I don't know what this thing is.
All right.
I'm a parent.
Everybody cool with that?
You can definitely make the pedestal and the bowl on top. That's easily enough done.
Yes.
Yeah. Just big for me.
I'll hold
I make little stairs up to it. Yeah, I make little stairs up to it, with the mold earth too. So I can get up there. And then dump it in there. And see what happens.
Okay. I'm going to say with mold earth, you can definitely make a 5 foot radius. I don't know why it keeps making it so big. Bowl, so you don't really need to make stairs. But it's more theatrical, so you do so.
Yeah.
When you were saying you were going to hold something?
Produce flame.
All right. Does Cerberus hold anything?
Divine Smite.
And Kaithal.
I'm holding magic missile.
Sorry, I'm just standing there with my chakram ready to stab or drop it on it, whatever it needs to happen.
All right. And Talon begins to wave one hand with magic missile while beginning.
I'll hold the spell and then I'll shake the thing out
Mm-hmm. Okay. See if I have a token for it.
I have no idea what the hell we have. That's great.
Good enough.
I'll make a bowl. Just put it in there. We're all sitting around with it, blow it up.
As you begin to basically move it, causing it to open the bag, you begin to disperse the contents inside, and it begins to wash in. It's not this big. For some reason, my tokens keep getting so huge.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
They're more like
Is
this
it little?
size.
It's little?
They're tiny. There's a lot of them, but I'm not going to go through that
There's a
process
lot
again.
of them? Oh, there's a bunch
As you
of them.
dump antelope size, as you dump them inside, a good amount of them begin to plop out. Maybe around 18 of them. They look kind of like purplish worms, but definitely like chunky meat. Looking at them, you can tell that immediately they don't seem to be alive or whatever these things are. It almost looked like a piece of brain that's like stuck in a bowl covered in purple slime. It's honestly hard to tell what the slime thing is. But as you look at it closer, you can tell it has a blackish eye on either side, but they are not actually moving. They're just currently pulsating for one reason or another. They're not like lunging towards anyone. They're just sitting down.
Oh. Help me. Can you help me with your little contraption to see better here? You know,
I don't know who you're asking.
I'm gonna ask him to help me with guidance. I don't know if I'm gonna need it, but I was gonna ask him to help with guidance. So.
Okay.
Oh,
Fair enough.
now I understand. Yes, I
I
will.
was trying not to say it like outright. You don't wanna, like,
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you need help, Talon? I will help you, Talon. I will help you so
I would
much,
only-
Talon, because you need.
ask someone of equal stature and of equal worth to help me like that.
Of course, Talon.
That's why I'm asking you, because I like them, but you know.
As Taylor regrets asking for help, guide ask guidance. Talon, based on the information you do have, based on what Cerberus has told you, what Talon and Cerberus have discerned, mainly Cerberus has been rolling well, ironically enough, with nature. Investigation 26.
Yeah.
Whatever these things are, or at least what they are now, they are actively not what they were meant for. These things are definitely organic, but the process of what they are has shifted or altered. Based off how they're moving, they're definitely alive still, but they are not like predator prey type of thing. It's more like currently inert, or at least not currently active, which means that hard to tell what it means, honestly, but you can tell at the very least that whatever they were meant for, it's no longer actively able to do that, but it still has certain traits of what it originally had. Based off of your investigation check with a 26, it's not the check I would have asked for, but I'm gonna go ahead and say you do some medicine check, some nature check, which I will bump your 23 to a different variance of those checks. You can tell that this thing has been not lobotomized, but altered mentally by a greater force, almost dominated by the thing, and then shattered and fractured its mind, or the primitive instincts of fight or flight at the very least. And whatever traits they do have, they have something of the mind, something innate, something organic. When you more or less begin to, with the help of Tolwyn, T names, you dissect one, you can tell based off its own neural network, it is able to telepathically communicate with whatever other things that are resembling it or other things around. But without an active mind, they can't necessarily do that. But you can transplant this onto something else, and it will actively do that. These things can burrow into the body, but based off of what you've seen, they will not take control of it or take full root into your or another system's thing. It'll just allow others to transmit to it or allow others to work through it, so long as the other individual is willing and the first individual is also willing. It can't forcefully do so unless, well, the mind has been fractured beforehand. And, well, what this thing can give you, if you decide to use it, it can give you not telepathy, but basically the spell known as message. It can also give you the spell known as sending, but only to other creatures with the same creature inside. Which means if you do implant it into yourself, Cerberus, Tolwyn, Kythol, you would be able to communicate between a vast distance. This thing also gives you a +1 to your intelligence as it ramp ups your mind to house this thing, because you need a lot more mental process to do so.
I grab it and put it in my face.
I thought you were going to, but I was also hoping that you weren't.
I will also state, though, it will likely be painful when it burrows inside.
I'm a fucking man. I'm fine.
Hey, Talon, are you okay? For some odd reason, I kind of felt that you were going to do this, but at the same time, I thought you would be also too stupid to try it.
Apparently not.
Talon, you put it into your, or at least on your neck, and it begins to burrow inside. It's not like forcefully doing it. Whatever flight or flight thing it had, again, it was basically inerted and cut off, so it's no longer able to do that. So it's naturally doing it, which means it's going slower. So the process is a lot more painful, but it won't take over your body, which is the main thing. It goes into your spine and attaches there, releasing a process. Its process connecting its own intelligent network system into your brain, enhancing your intelligence by +1. Again, you now have the message spell, so you can communicate with anyone within 30 feet of you, and you have the sending spell between you or other things that have these things inside already.
Let's see. Do I get to choose to send it, or can I choose to I guess
you can choose to send or receive.
Okay.
You feel like a pulse in your brain as if someone's trying to connect with you, but you can say no. And if you know the individual that is on the other side, say you've spoken with them beforehand, you can tell, oh, this is this person, this is this person. But if you've never spoken with them beforehand, you can tell that it is not someone you know or have spoken with before. You just don't know who they are.
Can I put the rest back in the bag of preservation?
Yeah, you use the tongs and begin to put them in the bag.
And the slime.
The slime is not able to be put back. But you can tell when you put them inside, the slime begins to warp into the bag as if the bag is secreting it.
Oh, never mind then.
The bag seems to extensively know what it needs to preserve whatever's inside.
Talon, are you feeling all right? That was a little extreme, friend.
That was a lot extreme.
You guys can tell that there's still a little bit of a growth in his neck that's slowly going down. Once the creature or the thing decays into the system that is Talon.
I feel fine. There's a little headache. How do I feel, actually?
Smarter? Well, your brain feels like it's working on overdrive, definitely faster. You still feel fine, but it feels as if you are actively aware of more things in your area. As if you can see Cerberus and truly understand, oh, this is how he works, this is how he operates, this is how he might attack. You see Tolwyn and you can tell, oh, this person has connections with the nature around them as the grass and the roots around them begins to coil around them. Oh, you see Kython and you can tell, oh, this man or this Fae individual feels as if they're not from here. Something alien. And, well, you begin to feel these processes, which you've seen before and have taken note of, but they become clearer to you.
Do I look? I don't look any different, do I?
No. Well, the growth,
Besides
but it
the
will
big growth in
flatten
your
down
neck.
eventually.
It's going away, though, right?
It's slowly going away. Maybe give it a day.
Pull out another little box and make a mental image of this, or a magical image of the growth around his neck.
You take a small
I
sketch.
don't stand still for very long.
Yeah.
But maybe you could take a picture of your mind. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I just had a hunch that this might be helpful.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask my sword to help me, or what it thought, but I was like, "Ah, fuck it."
I will tell you with your skill check and Tolwyn helping you, this thing basically latches onto your nervous system, and then you basically added secondary nervous system and mental process into your already there body. It's just adding something to it rather than it taking from you.
Biological RAM chip.
Basically, yeah. But it does have some software already pre-programmed, hence the intelligence boost and the potential getting messages from someone else. But yeah.
So we have a long rest, hopefully without us getting consumed by a parasite. And we get onto the horse and start going away. Also, during this time, I like to try to identify what is our next set of steps, where we're going next.
All right.
I guess are we heading? Do we need to head to my sister's wedding, or not wedding, but
coming of age. It basically means, hey, this, like in olden times, it basically means, hey,
Yeah.
our daughter, son is of marrying age. This is a time when people celebrate, blah, 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 but it's when the families smoosh and go, oh, hey, if you give me this plot of land, you can have my daughter's hand in marriage. Or, hey, obviously you have a lot of money, but you need a name. We'll have your daughter marry into our family, and obviously we'll take your money and you'll have our title. Things of that nature. It's kind of gross, honestly, but it's something that has been done. And honestly, is still done today.
The list of things I want to know is, I believe we had something akin to a map that showed places a possible interest that we got when we made a timeline of things. And I wanted to know in the location that we're going towards, what other places of interest are there.
In the, well, not timeline map, but in the map that you've been given, or at least have been able to discern for yourselves, you can tell that the way you're heading towards, it's near Aquas, a kingdom too far away that you have very little note of, but close to it, you do know of a few places here and there. From what I remember...
Did you not save the map?
I'm currently looking for it.
One of the things I was wondering is, I think south from here, or at least south from the library, was the last known location of those 3 people.
Yes, that is true.
And I don't know what else was around the direction where we're going.
I can't find that map, so I'll have to find the video that had it. But
What? We'll wait until then. I assume we're trying to go to the coming of age ceremony.
yeah, heading towards there, you can discern that it is a good couple weeks away, and with the time you've went again. I mentioned this various times, but the places you went to was not at all in the direction of Talen's home village.
But we also had extra time.
You did have extra time. That's not the issue. I'm just telling you, you so did not go in the direction of that village. But that's fine.
Travis. I waved to Travis. Hey.
Travis is surprised you're alive. But he ultimately ignores you unless you actively speak with him.
Oh, by the way, there's just be careful of Steves and those druggers, by the way, man.
He now more actively ignores you. He has no idea what you're talking about. This man basically comes here to warn people of, hey, you're looking for adventure, you're looking for travel, try it somewhere else or else you might die.
I toss him some mind flayer jerky as we go by.
He
And,
smells it. You can tell
it smells
Owen
good in the hat.
that he's seeing if it's poisoned or not. Eventually, he does take a
I'm
bite.
eating like the same thing. Like it's the same thing. Like I like kind of cheers him.
He is aware of people having resistances to poison.
Okay.
He's
I'm
not
trying to poison him.
I know. He rarely sees anyone come back down, so if you do come back down, you're either hardy enough to take a punch or who knows what else, but he doesn't ask you, like, what happened up there? Because honestly, he's just here to warn people. And after coming back down, you can tell why he might be able to or wants to warn people of the dangers ahead. But he does eventually eat the jerky. That being said, though, you come back down here and, well, you look at the map and you can tell that you're heading towards the Kingdom of Oclus. Or at least a bordering city near it, still within the Kingdom of Vile. You can tell that a storm hasn't approached there for quite some time, which allowed the elves to grow, nurture, and prosper. You can also tell Talon and, well, everyone else that looked for this information, which I think it was everyone and it was shared. Due to this and its more or less calm nature in the world, it hasn't felt a storm or any problematic issues. They've definitely had children of Scarlet in their own villages and things of that nature, but they were promptly, unfortunately, as tend to do, excommunicated, thrown out, whatever you want to call it, basically kicked out of their home and told to wander into the wilderness to survive. It's how they settle things. So with that type of process, it is safeguarded, secure, and overall, one of the various, due to it being mainly elven, the population doesn't change that often. And they're also very long-lived. But with that long-lived and non-population increase or decrease, a little bit decrease thanks to sorcerers being tossed out, mainly. There are some exceptions. There are a lot of things there that are magical, highly powerful, highly regarded. So you already know that the Children of Scarlet are going for these type of things to create new storms, to take control of the storms, and to do something. You just don't really know what. So honestly, just going there might prove fruitful, other than, celebrating with Talon and his family. That being said, though, it's a 2-week journey away. So in 2 weeks' time, you will get there. And we're just going to speed running you, training here and there, making your path there. Because honestly, there are some dangers ahead, but nothing you can't handle right now. And we'll figure out what happens when you meet Talon's mom and sister as we end the session for today.